We have a tweet from the Walt Disney Company, statement from the Walt Disney Company on signing of Florida legislation. Florida's HB 1557, also known as the Don't Say Gay bill, should never have been passed and should never have been signed into law.
Since when do corporations make specific announcements on legislative bills and whether they've been passed or not?
There's always been, like, corporations have always voiced their opinions when it comes to bills and stuff like that, but never in this kind of way, I don't think. Just due to the fact that this is more of a virtue signal than it is anything else, because of the companies that are the countries that Disney Plus is expanding to within the next little bit.
Disney expanding operations to 10 anti-gay regions as they go woke in the United States. Many of the places punish homosexuals with lengthy imprisonments. Others put them to death.
Death. Wow.
As part of its expansion, Disney Plus will make its way into Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Oman, Palestinian Authority, Qatar, or Qatar, as they say, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, and Yemen, all of which outlaw homosexuality. Double standard here, Disney. Aren't going to expect the same type of enthusiasm from the Disney employees in these countries, shouting down Governor DeSantis. I think it's going to be a little bit different landscape and maybe a little bit of hypocritical territory for Disney. And stand in solidarity and support with our LGBTQ plus cast, crew, Imagineers, and fans who make their voices heard today and every day.
Corporate type of way of saying, we still want your money. Because let's face it, there's no kids from Yemen that are going to be coming to Disney parks anytime soon. They're getting bombed too much by the Saudi Arabians with the backing of the U.S. and everything. But at the same time, they're still going to be like, all inclusive to the right kind of people. They're not, they're not making a big stink about the laws and customs of these other countries that they're going into to make money with, but man, because Ron DeSantis is a Republican and, he's a big time player in the Republican Party and all this, they've got to make their stand to look like and give the appearance of a progressive and forward company when it's really the bottom line is they just want more butts and seats at the parks.
Here we have from Breitbart, Disney launching task force to make more LGBTQ plus content for children and families. For children?
And again, with that statement, none of that content will be shown in any of those countries where it is illegal and outlawed. And that includes China, which is their biggest market. So this is nothing more than, like I said, just some virtue signal, and it's pandering. And I would think if you are of the mind where you don't like being pandered to or having your specific movement or whatever be taken as a joke or as just a tool in whatever politics is going on, that this would be insulting.
Here we have a tweet from Christopher F. Rufo. Scoop, I've obtained video from inside Disney all hands meeting about the Florida Parental Rights Bill in which executive producer LaToya Raveneau says her team has implemented a not all so secret gay agenda and is regularly adding queerness to children's programming. What?
It's like, I love Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers.
Whispers.
I'd heard things like, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little, sus when I started.
Sus. She was sus.
Uh-oh.
Yay, the buzzwords. I love the buzzwords. They're my favorite.
Speaking of sus.
And, again, a funny thing about this is that Disney is kind of playing with a little bit of corporate guilt because they, in the past, have made movies that some would say are between mildly and very racist. And so this is what happens when companies get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They'll always double down to try to erase that history and that thing from their past because it's, it'll drive away X demographic group's money. At the end of the day, this is all about money.
So I was a little like sus when I started, but then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard on my little pocket of like, Proud Family Disney TVA. The showrunners were super welcoming, Meredith Roberts, and like our leadership over there has been so welcoming.
So in other words, no internalized racism from the people there.
How nice.
To like my like not at all secret gay agenda. And so like I feel like
Sorry, what did she just say?
Whoa. Not so secret gay agenda? Wait a minute. Oh, man. What is going on at
felt
Disney?
like it was, I mean, like maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess like something must have happened in the last, like they are turning it around. They're going hard. And then all that like momentum that I felt, like that sense of I don't have to be afraid to like, let's have these two characters kiss.
Oh, I mean,
this is children's programming. We don't even want to see heterosexual characters kissing.
you definitely don't, Pat. But I mean, I don't.
None. Not at all.
It doesn't bother.
It's that low key attempt to take this conversation away from parents with their children and let giant media conglomerates teach their kids. It's the same thing that we're seeing in public schools these days. And that's, it's taking away the rights of the parents to be parents. And instead, we want the TV and these large corporations to raise our children when that shouldn't be the case at all. It's nothing but brainwashing.
So like, let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background. Like I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to like if you see anything queer in the show, I'm Proud Family. But like I just was like, no one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me.
Well, anyone that says, Disney isn't gay, well, we have proof that it is.
Yeah, it sure is. So there you go. There you have it. Disney definitely having a strong agenda and enacting it without any kind of problems whatsoever. The bills, standing opposed to bills, we're seeing that in Canada, and we say politics is downstream from culture, and I guess we're really seeing that here, that culture, and we started in the culture war, didn't we, Pan? Didn't we, Nick?
Yeah, comic books, man. Entertainment media,
We were upset because they weren't honoring the legacy of the characters, and they weren't coming up with any creative new stories or any creative new characters, because it was that lack of creativity that comes from this type of uniformity and monolithic stances with stuff like this that really kills it. And if you want to create and have gay characters or whatever, then make the characters. Be smart about it. Actually create the content that people are wanting so they can identify with a new character. Don't take an old character and then switch everything up, because you're just going to make people mad. But then again, the culture war goes hand in hand with rage marketing. So you can't have a good guy in rage marketing without a bad guy.
To stay up to date with us, make sure you check out WCFreedom.com. I'm going to be sending information about what's happening in the freedom world, culture news. We're going to be contributing, getting all kinds of information out there. Now that finally I've got my little company. By the way, I got 20 plus years of experience programming, and you can check out my LinkedIn right there is in the description. And I'd love it if you stay in touch. And I've started a new company called CodeGladius Corp. That's right. Take a look over here. We got BULLETMAKER. We got Vestige. These are fantastic books. Speaking about the culture war, we wanted to bring heroism back. BULLETMAKER, Post-Apocalyptic, Pre-Armageddon, Action Fantasy. If you like Kentaro Miura's BERSERK, then you're going to love this. Take a look at the description right there. Link is right there. So please, thank you so much. Highly appreciate your time. And hail, brethren. Hail freedom.